day, maybe we could just do something really simple and glowy and fresh, because this current situation of being stuck at home has us wanting to not move around and do much. I thought we could do a glowy get ready with me today. Just something simple, something a little bit beachy, a little bit, you know, summery, because we're still stuck at home during this ECQ and just want to look a little bit fresh, right? So I think we just do something simple, very glowy look. So first of all, put our hair back, wear a little bit of a headband, so you know, we're sparkly that way. Okay, so first of all, what we want to do is, if we're going for like a glowy look, is you put a little bit of serum or like a mist. I'm just gonna use like some skincare, just like a glowy skincare. So I use this 4th Ray Beauty turmeric face milk, because the turmeric in this, I feel, gives a bit of a glow. So this is good to wear under your makeup as well. And since it's skincare, it's good for your skin. Alright, there you go. We're just gonna do something really light and simple. We'll again use a BB cream. So this is my favorite, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. And what I like to do is I just like to pump a little bit, just a little bit, because we're not going to use a lot today. We're just going to put it on some of the areas that I want to hide. And then get a face oil, any face oil that you like. So I like the one by 4th Ray. It's a glow oil, and just put, you know, just mix 2 drops into your tinted moisturizer or cream. Okay, so it helps give that glowy texture. And then just go very lightly. I'm just gonna put a little bit, and just put a little bit on the areas that you want to cover. Because you're going for a very simple look, I'm not gonna put too much. Okay, that's it. And then rub it in. So simple, yeah. Keep it light, and that's why I like using a tinted moisturizer, because it keeps you looking fresh. You don't look like you're wearing so much makeup, but the good thing is it kind of wakes up your skin. So I think that's beneficial when you're going for something really light. This is something that you can wear to work, work from home, so you can wear it during your Zoom meetings. It's just, you know, look really light, look really fresh. So if you want more coverage, you could go in with like a really light concealer. So again, I'm using Colourpop's Pretty Fresh line. They were really nice concealers. So like, I just put tiny bit. Okay, you don't need to put so much, because again, I'm not going for a very, you know, made up look. I just want to look really light, really fresh. And you could, you know, you could do your concealer just there, just really light, and it's up to you if you want to add more. For me, I think that's alright. I'm not gonna add any more. So see, you just want to wake up your skin a little bit. Don't look like you just rolled out of bed. It's not a big issue for me to really, you know, have to hide all the imperfections. Love yourself and all that, right? So if you want to go back with a little bit more, just tiny bit more. Alright, there you go. And then just rub that in. or tap that in, rather, don't rub. Tap it in, okay, lightly, because the skin under your eyes is very thin, so you don't want to damage it by rubbing too hard. So just tap it in. And because I'm going for like a really fresh and dewy look, I'm not gonna set my face. Also, I'm gonna be using a couple of cream products, so we're not gonna set the base. Okay, so when you're done with your base like this, so this already looks nice and fresh, okay, and I'm using natural light because I wanna make sure that I look natural. So what we're gonna do next is we're just gonna use some cream products, but before we do that, I'm going to put a little bit of bronzer because I still want to put some color on my face. So I have this new bronzer by it's a palette. It's by Physicians Formula, and it's in collaboration with Weylie Hoang. It's really nice. So let's remove this plastic. And so what you want to do is, it's hard to remove this plastic. I'll be right back. After 10,000 years, I'm back, and this palette smells so good. So this is the palette. So it's nice and light and summery looks. So I'm gonna use a mixture of these two shades, these two bronzer shades, and then I'm just gonna place that lightly as bronzer on my cheeks. Okay. So just look for the hollows of your cheeks and bronze, and take note that this is fairly pigmented. So if ever, well, I know like some people are not comfortable with using your fingers to rub it in. So if you're not comfortable, you can use a brush and you can buff it. If you want to buff it lightly, or you know, if you want to use the heat of your fingers, which I like to do, so I just like to buff the edges. Just buff it a little bit. If you feel like you put a bit too much, there you go. And then yeah, so don't forget, it's really pigmented. I keep forgetting. And so just put a little bit, tap off the excess, and then there you go. And my gosh, that's so pigmented. So if it's pigmented like this, okay, again, as I mentioned, I like to use my fingers. So I just buff it in, okay, until, you know, you kind of get the amount of makeup that you want to have on your cheeks. So again, if you want, you can go in a little bit with the brush. Alright. Okay. And so, because I'm going for a very sun-kissed look, I'm just going to put a little bit up here. A bit up there. And these Physicians Formula blushes and bronzers are really pigmented. So if you have a palette like this, it's gonna go a really long way. And that's why I think that it's really worth your money. It's actually not that expensive. And if you get your hands on it, you can pick this up on Shopee or Lazada. You can find it. There are a lot of sellers who sell this. So you can pick something up like that. And that's really good because you could just use one palette. I like to use just one palette for all my bronzer blush needs. Okay, when you're done with that, you can go in. I like to go in with a cream blush. You can go in with any cream blush that you like. I'm a huge fan of Colourpop, so you'll see that I do like to use a lot of products from Colourpop. So this is a blush stick. This is a blush stick from Colourpop, and it's part of this set called the My Perch or Yours, and it contains a blush stick, which is this one, and this one is Aviary, okay, and it also contains a highlighter stick. So this is actually very convenient because you could just carry a blush stick and a highlighter stick with you, or I mean, like if we could still go to the beach, right? And then what I do is I just use my finger to warm up the blush, and I feel like, you know, you could use a kabuki brush, which is like that flat brush, but I like to use my fingers because I feel like this really helps with you know, warming up the product. So when you put it on your cheeks, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't get patchy. And then just put a little bit like that and dab it in. And then just keep adding as you go along until you get the color payoff that you want. So like I said, I don't want to go too dark because I just want to keep it light and fresh. So I'm just going to put a bit first, and then we'll go in later and see if we still need some more. So do that on one cheek and then go back in if you have to, and then do the other cheek. And I find this really quick and simple, and it gives you a nice color payoff, and you don't look too made up when you do it this way. And this is perfect, like if you know, if ever we get to go back to the beach sometime soon. I'm really hoping that, you know, once all of this, once we get through all of this, like there will be a time that we can finally get back out to the real world and just enjoy nature. And so anyway, here you go. Just keep it light. And this works best if you don't set your face, because if you put powder already, the tendency is for it to get patchy. So there, just light, yeah. Then what you can do is you could go in with your stick highlighter, or if you want, you could go in with a you know, like a powder highlighter, whatever works for you. So today I have these two from Careline. I just got these and I just wanted to try it. I wanted to, you know, test it out and see if it's nice. So here's, ooh, that's cute. This one is Glazed Glory. So it's a little bit got a bit of a pink flip to it, so I think that's cute. And then the other shade that I have is called Front Seat. Okay, oops. So let's try this out. And this one has more of like a gold sheen. So, oh my gosh, that's really pigmented. Wow, that's nice. So I think I'll go, well, I'll start with Glazed Glory, which is the pinkish one. I'll try this first. And then just put a little bit on the high points of your cheeks. Whoa, wow, that's really pigmented. And guys, this is just like 135 pesos. So, you know, for such a small amount of money, you get a product that has this kind of pigmentation that's really nice. So I just tap it in like this. That's pigmented. Okay, so we'll put some of the other side as well. Just tap it in. And then don't forget, because we're going for a glowy look, to put some on the tip of your nose. And then a little bit on the bridge of your nose. I'm sorry, my lighting's a bit crappy because the sun keeps going in and out. We have weird weather. And then put a little bit here on your Cupid's bow. Just so that you're illuminating all the high points of your face. And what I like to do is I always like to put a little bit here on the tops, on my brow bone, because I like to give it a lifted look. And there you go, you're nice and glowy. If you want, you can put a little bit up here, because these are all of the parts of your face that you know, the light hits first, whether it's natural light or sunlight. And you know, when you're going for a glowy look, you want the light to hit all of the points on your face that you want to emphasize. Okay? And because we're feeling extra, we're just gonna put a little bit here. And then rub it in. Just to really give you that glowy, sun-kissed look. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really missing the beach. Being stuck inside for so long, and though it's necessary, of course, for our health, right? Really miss the beach, the sun, and just, you know, listening to the waves. And so we recreate our sun-kissed look at home. So keeping it simple, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do our eyes, and we're just gonna do a very light eyeshadow look. So we're just gonna use like 2 colors. So again, Colourpop. So I'm using this palette called Sweet Nothings from Colourpop. It's a very you know, pinky purple palette, and I'm just gonna use a couple of the light shades. Actually, I'm gonna use one more palette because I want a light brown. So I'm using this Femme Rosa palette, again from Colourpop. Obviously, I love Colourpop. So in the Femme Rosa palette, I'm gonna use this really light brownish, pinkish shade. It's got a really good, you know, light brown, pinkish tone there. So it's good to use as a base color. Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna use that shade in my crease, and then I'm just gonna use it like as my base all over my lid. So I'm just gonna use that as my first shade. I'm gonna get a brush, right? So tap it in lightly, top of the excess, because I don't want to go overboard with this shade. I want to just keep this light, and then just go in light like this and swirl it all over your eyelid. And because we're just gonna do maybe just 2 shades, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it light like this, and then bring it in onto your eyelid. So it's a very simple look. And then just keep adding as you go, and bring it to the pigmentation or depth that you want it to reach. So if you want to keep it light, you can just go with, you know, with 1 tap or with 1 round, and then bring it in. And if you're happy with that, like I like that, I'm happy with that, just leave it there. And then just do that on the other side as well, keeping it simple. Now this is the kind of look that I would wear to the beach. Like really light, really glowy, simple, a little bit salmon pink. Because you don't wanna, you know, you don't wanna be all made up when you go to the beach. But this is also a look that you could wear to the office, to school, you know, just out when we get to go out and about. Yeah, it's just light and simple and fresh. And there you go. So I know a lot of people like to sit and blend and blend and blend, but who really has the time for that? I know none of us really have that much time, and makeup's supposed to be fun, it's not supposed to be a chore. So if it looks a little bit undone, don't worry about it, that's perfectly fine. Okay, and then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna just get a light shimmer shade. So I'm gonna go with this light pinky shade, pinky gold shade. Okay, let's swatch this first, see if it matches or if it complements. Yep, that's cute. It's like a nice pinky gold shade, and we're gonna You know, we're just gonna put this all over our lid. Just keep it light. We don't want to go too overboard because we just, you know, we just want a very light, simple look, eye look. Now, again, I like to go in with my fingers. I think that your fingers are some of your best makeup tools because the warmth from your fingers really helps melt your makeup. You know, I mean, like blend all of the shades together, and it really works well with your body chemistry. So use your finger if you're happy with it. If you're worried about like hygiene or anything, you could use a brush, no problem with that. So there, as simple as that. And then you could go back in with your brush that you use with no additional product and just buff in that shade. And all you need to do is just do that on the other side. Simple as can be. And just tap it in. And then again, buff in the edges like earlier. And you're done. And then what I like to do is just to bring it in. I just like to get a little bit and then just run your brush on your bottom lash just to give it some depth. Now if you want to keep it bare, that's perfectly fine as well, but I like to just do that just to give it a little bit of depth and to just, you know, make sure that all the shades come together. There you go. And then if you want to go in with that shimmer shade again, and then just lightly put it in the inner 1/3 of your eye, just to kind of, you know, bring all of the shades together. And that's done. And if you want to go back in with a highlighter, you could go back in with the same highlighter that we use, because just, you know, to complement all the shades, just put a little bit in your inner corner. Because we want to look like we just spent hours sunbathing. And there you go. And then all you need to do is just put on some mascara. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put on some mascara. I'm just gonna fix my brows a bit and I'll be right back. Okay, so my mascara is done, my brows are done, and so this is kind of like what you want it to look like. So like I said, simple, glowy, fresh look. Nothing too extreme. Okay, and then just to finish it off, you go in with a light lipstick. So you could go in with a lip balm, or you could go in with a liquid lipstick. For today, I'm just gonna keep it light and fresh again. And so again with Colourpop, I really love Colourpop. So you could go in with like a light pinkish shade, but what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna, oh, this is a nice shade. I'm probably gonna mix these two shades, and just to see where we go from there. Okay, so let me grab a mirror. And then just lightly go in. So when I do a look like this, I like to just go in first with the shade. And then, okay, just add a bit more. And then, because we're not going for a very defined look, just use your finger and tap it in. And then fix the lines as you wish. And then you're done. So you could keep it here. So what I did is I just added a little bit more just so that it contrasts a bit with my eyes. And then you could leave it here, or you could add in a lighter shade in the middle. So you could add in a shade like this. It kind of, you know, it complements your lip color and your eye color. So I tend to do that. I try to choose shades that would complement each other. You could leave it like this, or just to give it a bit more glow, go in again with like any hydrating mist. So I like this one by e.l.f., the coconut mist. And then just mist your face to give it that glow. And then just let it dry, give it a minute to dry. And you see what it does, like, you know, it really makes your highlight pop, and it just gives a little bit more glow to your face. And so this, once it's dry, this is the finished look. So nice and simple, and like with the eyes, we just use 2 shades, and that's very easy. You could use any palette, and this is your nice, simple work from home or summer beachy look. So we're just gonna fix my hair a bit because it looks a mess, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is my finished look. So I just curled the ends of my hair a little bit, put my hair up, and this is the finished look. Don't mind my dog sleeping there, my love of my life. That's the finished look. So I hope you like this look. It's nice, it's simple. You can do this in 10 minutes. Just using very light, everyday shades. And don't forget the glow. Thank you. Bye.